Start recording. By the way, guys, everybody's being recorded. Just letting you know. Alright, so now I need you to get out of my way. Right there. Alright, you guys.
You are 5, Anthony.
I got one. Anthony, say something.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah. And we'll start recording in 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to the first ever YouTube video for Get the KO. What is going on? I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, and as always, I have my lovely co-host, and you can see them right here. You can see them for the first time. Here she is, the co-host, Julie Chewbacca.
What's up, bitches? Hi,
And
everybody.
then, as always, Anthony A.J. Lujan.
Fight me!
Fuck you, Kobe.
So, for those who don't know, okay, because if you're listening to this on podcast, you have no idea what just happened. Anthony literally
Yeah.
has a sign made up that says, fuck you, Colby Covington. So, apparently, he still has a mad crush on Colby, and that's just his thing. So, it is
Hey,
what it
good
is.
news is, bitches, I'm back on Twitter. Colby Covington couldn't hold me down.
Yeah,
Can't hold me down.
can't hold nothing down. It's just what it is. So, we do
The
have a couple.
pettiness.
Yeah, oh, it's super petty. Super petty. So
Social media is like the pettiest place on earth, I promise.
we have been away for a week. We kind of had some stuff that we were building up to. Also, I was on vacation. So for some of you who don't know, I was in Massachusetts. I have family there. That's why we went. And if you guys got to listen to Frankensteiner, which some of you probably do on the podcast, you would have known like the funny story that came out of there. We don't got enough time to talk about it today, and we're not going to. So we're going to continue on.
So that means
Also-
you have to go listen to Frankensteiner.
Facts. So here's what
Get
we got.
closer.
Right? Right? So pay attention. So we got to talk about UFC 241. Anthony, do you have the scorecards for us so far?
So far, prior to UFC 241, I do. On my handy dandy little smartphone.
Ooh.
Anthony.
So
just-
prior to
1%.
UFC 241, Mr. Clifford Red Dog Miller is at 8-4, myself at 7-5, and Julie Chewbacca at 5-7.
So that's what we're
I
at.
tanked pretty bad.
Oh, trust me, this was not my night.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh,
Or
my
Kira's.
God. Yeah, or Kara. She did make her calls too. All right, so let's get it started, right? First fight of the night that we had, Derek Brunson versus Ian Heinisch, right? This fight was ridiculous, man. Like, we saw everything we needed to see. Derek Brunson, 102 of 207, and his total strikes, significant strikes, he was 81 of 185, and then 2 for 10 for his takedowns. And on Ian's side, he was 65 of 150, 58 of 143 for significant strikes, and then he was 0 for 8 in his takedowns. So the wild thing about this fight was, Derek Brunson just came out full force, letting people
Yeah,
know
he did.
hell he was, man. It was nasty. Like, what did you guys think of the fight?
No, I agree. He was putting a lot of pressure on Ian, big time, swinging for the fences at moments, but not like wildly. They were calculated, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, Brunson wasn't there to play around, and that's kind of what I expected out the gate, if that makes sense. That's kind of what I predicted before we went into it. Was like, I think Brunson's gonna kind of come in and throw down, so which is good.
Yeah, and he definitely showed it off. I mean, Ian just never got into the fight. It wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah,
My one question is where has this Derek Brunson been for a minute? He
That's
looked
a great
phenomenal.
question.
yeah, no, that's a good point. I enjoy it. I'm fine with it. If this makes sense, like I have this thing, like even if a fighter gets the fire later, like you got the fire. That's all I
Yeah,
care about. Like I don't care if it's like 5 fights late or half a career late. If I get to see some really excellent fighting out of you, at least I get something. I hate the ones that that have the potential. They just don't put anything into it. So
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
glad
it's like
Brunson's
like
putting it
Uriah
in.
Hall, like so much for Uriah Hall coming out of Ultimate Fighter and kind of fizzled.
Yeah, which was really surprising because you thought he was gonna excel a little bit more, and then that never happened. So, I mean, it's not horrible, but it wasn't like the fire that you thought was gonna come out. So,
yeah, no doubt. And it was crazy because Derek, like during that season of the Ultimate Fighter, you were like, if you were picking people, you were like, Uriah Hall clearly is going to dominate this class. He's the man. He had that brutal knockout of that
yeah,
backswing, that wheel kick that came out of nowhere. And yeah, Derek Brunson, you were kind of like, well, he's a good wrestler. He's got some potential, but you were really just in awe of Uriah Hall because he was just on another level. And it's so weird that he just never made it out, never became anything from it. So
yeah.
I'm also gonna pull up the scorecards, but apparently Google is just not wanting to cooperate right now. So I'm
But
like,
so
thanks
going back to that like Uriah Hall thing, Kevin Gastelum just put so much pressure on him in the finale that like he's never been dominated, and Kevin Gastelum just dominated that fight. Like he pushed him into the fence, he wrestled him when he wanted to, and ultimately Lavis like killed him. Like he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm getting pressured. I'm not the one pressuring everybody, and now my career is just.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
and
I see.
that's devastating too because he was, like I said, man, like we were all hyped about him, and we were just that's all we did. We just nonstop talked about him, and then that's
Right.
this is what we run into. But if you guys
Well,
want to know,
stuff
for the Derek
happens.
Brunson fight, sorry, I wanted to kind of get this out. Derek Brunson's scorecard had it 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. So as much as we're gonna say Derek Brunson dominated this fight, he did dominate round 1 and 3. I think he lost the second round, but that's only because he was trying to coast to get into the third round because he was winded, and Ian was doing great, just kind of keep constant pressure. But that second round,
Right.
you know, I would have given it. So, any last thoughts on those fights?
No, good job, Brunson.
Yeah, Derek.
Yep, yep. So there's I gotta talk about this, right, because Sodiq Yusuff and Gabriel Benitez, like this was a fun fight, right? And we got our money's worth in this fight, gotta be honest. Um,
Right.
but there's something, and it's gonna sound crazy, but there's something like special, right, going on with the fighters that are coming into Nigeria. I have
Oh
to be
no,
honest. Like,
totally agree. The Nigerian fighters are on fire right
you
now.
got
I know,
four
like, well, I know, like with Yusuf, like this was like the Blins is like a catch weight or whatever, and I know he just got recommended to go up a weight as well. So like, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with him. But in general, I agree. The Nigerian fighters are just they're a different breed, and get it. Like I'm becoming a big fan of them. They're really good.
Yeah, and Sodiq Yusuff is no exception to that as well. I think there was a stat that came out. I think they're like 22-1 or something like that. It was just wild. Plus they have 2 championships because Kamar Usman, Israel Adesanya,
Yeah,
and now Sodiq is putting himself in position as well. It's amazing to watch these guys go. And even just like we're gonna be honest, the continent of Africa has had some great fighters that came out of it. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
like look at Francis Ngannou. He's also just tearing up the division. So big props up. And with that being said, Sodiq Yusuff did score the first round knockout 4 minutes and 14 seconds in, right? One knockdown. He was 34-79 for total strikes, 34-79 for significant strikes. While Gabriel, no slouch, he was landing shots. 24-72 for his strikes, and his significant strikes was the same as well. But yeah, it was just something that I love watching now because I was like, man, like Israel Adesanya. Then you see there's obviously Kamaru Usman, and they're just setting a new bar for everybody. And to be honest, the rest of the world should be like, we should probably pay attention a little more because these guys are tearing it up.
They have really good ethics as far as like gym and work camps and stuff like that. So I like it. I'm enjoying what's coming out of there.
What's your thoughts on it, Anthony?
I picked Yusuf to win, but I didn't think it was gonna be that quick. Like I've never thought that was going to second. And if you look at these stats, like both of them, all shots thrown in that fight, all the strikes, significant.
Yeah. He was looking to do damage, and it was very apparent what was going on. So
Right.
big props. I have to continue to say, like, I loved what I saw. So, congratulations to Sodiq Yusuff. Much appreciated. Big go. All right, moving up, right? Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa. As we said, it's been a couple of weeks, so we got to talk about this fight too. What else can you really say about this fight? Both fighters scored knockdowns. Yoel Romero, 125 of 284 total strikes as well as significant strikes. He was 1 for 4 in his takedowns, which was massive. On the other side, Paulo Costa, 118 of 231 and for total strikes and significant strikes. And the biggest thing is, scorecard had this 29-28, 29-28, 29-28. I had that scorecard as well, 29-28. How did you guys have this scored?
I don't know. It's difficult for me because I could see the argument on why it could have gone for Romero. I saw a lot of fighters out there on Twitter that made the argument for it, and I get it. Like, it was a good fight. Costa, like, he pulled it out. He had the edge, so I understand why I went 29-28, but it was really close in my mind. It was really close. They were both really good.
I had it 29-28. I picked Costa to win it, but my scorecard was for Yoel. I think he won it. I think that first round was almost a toss-up. I mean,
yeah,
it Costa looked real good. It looked like he was going to finish him real fast, and then Yoel just being Yoel, just taking shots and just throwing bombs and coming back to it.
I mean, and you know what's funny is, like, the first round, I think that could have been kind of a toss-up. The second round, I thought Yoel won it. But then that third round, that was Costa's round. I now will not disrespect. That definitely was Costa's round. I just didn't understand this thing where you got punched in the face and he was like, I just didn't understand the tongue thing.
It was so glad that I got recorded.
But it doesn't make no sense. Like, you're eating shots and all you're doing is you're like, oh, it tastes delicious. I'll take another one. And for those who didn't know on the podcast, I'll stick my tongue out. That's why Anthony said that. So it didn't make sense, but I did have it 29-28 Yoel, because I thought round one was kind of like, went up in the air because both dudes scored a knockdown. And I was like, I got to give it to Yoel because I was just going to side that way. But it didn't happen that way. Caller won. Cool.
Yeah.
Give me a second here. I want to see something here.
By the way, Sodiq Yusuff was the only fight that I picked that won.
The two that I lost were the Romero fight and I didn't lose the Pettis or Diaz fight. No one lost the Pettis Diaz fight. We all fucking won that fight. We declared that prior anyways.
Well,
damn it, everybody.
Before we get into that fight, we'll let Anthony say what he's got to say.
I'm pulling up the Costa Romero actual breakdown of that third round, because I really want to look at what it actually entailed. And we all know how it actually broke down. But I want to look at stats per round. So significant strikes by round. I can hear my kid cry right now.
Fun times.
Yeah, just make us wait longer, Anthony. That's what we're supposed to do, even though we have a video going and you're just staring now.
Sorry, Atlanta. UFC.com didn't have the breakdown like I thought it was gonna.
It's okay.
Shit happens.
So, but what we do know is Costa won this fight. So enough with this fight. We got to go up to the next fight.
Oh my god!
Let's talk about the nobody lost this fight, right?
Yeah, nobody lost. Everybody won.
By the way,
that wasn't a season. It was yawn, but okay. I feel blessed.
So Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis. First, we're gonna give the scores, right? 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Whoever scored that fight, 29-28, we're gonna have words. Anthony Pettis, 86 of 153 total strikes. He was 69 of 133 for significant strikes, and one submission attempt, which actually it looked really cool. However, Nate Diaz, one knockdown, 205 of 306, 114 of 201 for his significant strikes, and 1 for 1 for his takedowns. Now, I say that 29-28 call, it didn't make sense. Nate Diaz went out there and whooped Pettis' ass.
Oh yeah, it was something.
It was crazy. It's one of the craziest things I've ever
surprised. I was shocked. Well, not shocked. Because of the way Pettis was the last fight, I was like, okay, we're gonna see like a brawl. And then like I was like, okay, Nate Diaz, we'll see how he does. And then the moment he walked out, I was like, uh-oh. This gonna be beautiful. Like with that first round is where it got decided. Where I'm like, well, fuck it, we all won. Like everyone's just playing. Like Diaz made me happy. It made me feel. It reminded me why he has the chip on his shoulder that he does, because he is a good fighter and he doesn't get the recognition that he really fucking should deserve by a lot of people. And I can see why he does like get pissy about it. I mean, yeah, he fucks off and stuff like that, but I can see why you get a chip on your shoulder when you see other people get, oh, he's so much better than you, and you're like, no, I can totally whip his ass. Let me prove it to you. So it was nice. I like fired up Diaz. I'll take it. I also love his brother fired up too. So fired up Diaz. Let's do it.
Yeah, it was real. And the fight just got nastier and nastier as we went on and on. It was crazy. It was a great fight. I mean, nobody lost that fight, though I picked Anthony Pettis. Nobody lost that fight. So good job. Anthony, what you got to say on it?
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. Welcome back, Nate Diaz. 3-year layoff. You look fucking phenomenal. I mean, we all talked. We sat here doing the podcast, and we were like, "Oh, I don't know what Nate Diaz is really going to do because he's been out of the game." Evidently, he's been training.
Yeah, that was a big point that was made too. Was that just because I haven't fought doesn't mean I haven't stopped training, and that was like something because I watched a lot of the embeddeds and stuff like that. Like that seemed to be the point that Nate Diaz was trying to make this entire like fight was like, yo, just because you haven't seen me in the octagon doesn't mean I am not sharpening my tools. Like you got to keep sharpening your skills if you're going to be a master. Yeah. So, and he proved it when he got in the fucking octagon. So get it, Diaz.
Yeah, he proved it. There's no doubt that he didn't prove what he was doing. So it was a big win for him. So I have to say like big props to God damn it, Nate Diaz. I just fuck. So next fight up, we gotta talk, right? So next fight that we had, right? Daniel Cormier, Stipe. What else were you gonna expect from this fight, right?
And new. Thank God. Like,
hopefully DC
it needed to happen. Well, whatever. Honestly, I could give it's not that I could give a crap. It's kind of like if he decides he wants to do one last fight, whatever, and then he retires after that, that's fine. I was more just happy that Stipe finally got his chance to grab that title and be like, excuse me, thought so. Because I thought it was bullshit that there was such a adverse reaction to the idea of like, oh, DC versus Stipe rematch. Well, no, we're going to put Brock Lesnar in there. What? Like when they started throwing those stupid ideas around. So I was happy to see Stipe because he is undeniably one of the best heavyweights on the planet. I don't give a shit what he says, Coker, unless we're doing a crossover and we see some people fighting each other in the heavyweights. Shit your face. Stipe just is the heavyweight king right now, and he grabbed that title from DC and just said, "Thank you for holding it for this moment, but bye now." Bye now.
I personally think that Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time.
I totally agree. 100% agree. I think it's not just like he's the greatest heavyweight. He's not a dickbag on top of it too. Like I don't mind him carrying the title. He's just a hardworking guy who gets into the gym and puts in the work, and he will defend his title when he needs to. And like that was the thing that was frustrating about this DC rematch. What leading up to it was the whole, I don't know if I like that idea. I don't give a shit what you like, Dana. Realistically, give him the fucking rematch.
Did you guys happen to see? Did you guys happen to see the photo of Stipe today? If you guys didn't know, we're recording this on August 30th. Did you guys happen to see the Stipe photo today?
Which one was that? I don't think
so.
Where
he's in a bathroom cleaning up in his fire department uniform with a scrubber.
I love they do that to him. Did you ever hear, like, I think it was the Embedded at the first DC one, or it might have been actually before that. It might have been the Daganu. That's actually something that his firehouse does, is like they give him shit and they make him clean toilets and stuff like right after a championship bout, and they'll be like, "Hey, champ, clean toilets." And like, yeah. I love that because they love to humble him, and I think that's the other thing that I love about Stipe is he is in a humbling position. He's a Midwest guy. He's from Ohio. Michigan's better, but like he's from Ohio. He's just a firefighter. What?
Both of the places can burn in hell. I'm gonna say it again. Right here, all that Nebraska.
I don't give a shit about the college. I'm just talking about Michigan State. High five, America, left hanging. Always remember that. High five, America, left hanging. But yeah, no, like he's a Midwest dude. He's chill. He really just puts in the work, and so I like the fact that we have a heavyweight that will defend it. He's defended it multiple times, won it multiple times. So let's go back to having a serious conversation in the heavyweight division instead of fucking teasing. Let's bring Brock Lesnar back. No, I'm good. Fucking good on that shit.
You thought I would have loved Brock to be back. They need paid again.
I want Brock like get his ass beat, but I'm not for a belt. Don't put a fucking title into that. Don't waste a title shot.
Well, we got to bring this back, right? So back into the fight. Total strikes, DC 230 of 317, significant strikes 181 of 263, takedowns 1 for 3. Stipe 1 knockdown, obviously. Total strikes 135 of 244, significant strikes were 123 of 229. He was also 1 for 3 in his takedowns. Now the knockdown came in the 4th round when Stipe changed up his game plan, right? So Stipe was landing a lot of left hooks to the body of DC, and DC didn't adjust his game plan. It's like almost like his corner told him, "Hey, you're getting hit in the body. Stop getting hit in the body." And he was just like, "Nah, man, I'm gonna grab his hands and I'm gonna drop an elbow." And I mean, the game plan was working. Let's be real. The game plan worked in the first 3 rounds, but then like once Stipe made that adjustment, like DC just didn't follow. And realized, like, hey, I gotta protect. And
he was chopping him down. He was chopping him down by the midsection, and his team wasn't giving him enough cues to mentally catch, like, yo, bro, you're getting chopped.